The biggest misinformation in Etheria restart right now. This misinformation made my favorite streamer, Jenna Z, crash out today, right? Because he's so sick and tired of this misinformation being spread around. And I would say it is quite literally, ruining lives, guys. It's ruining lives. So what exactly is this misinformation? So for the longest time, right, there has been this very, very weird little debacle between if you were to go into a stage and you leave, you have a -1 stamina. But the question is, can you as a player prevent this -1 from happening from doing the restart? And I think this is honestly quite impactful, because if players think that for every single restart you -1 stamina, you wouldn't bother restarting, right? You wouldn't bother trying to grind the perfect RNG and get in the clear, which would literally cuck your progression, especially in the Hyperlink charter. So for example, if you're somebody that wants to clear let's just say this, right? Let's say you want to clear Doki Doki Nightmare 3, right? But you don't have a good enough team to clear Doki Doki Nightmare 3. And you need to grind RNG, you need to reset, find the perfect time where your Kraken freeze everyone, where you land your crits, where you don't get one shot. You would want to reset. But if you are under the conception that if you were to reset every single time and you -1 stamina, then you wouldn't be going forward to attempt these more difficult stages, which you couldn't have a 100% success rate. Which brings us to the topic today. Technically, it's like a half truth, half lie. So I'm going to be using my own free-to-play account with my own stamina just to prove exactly how this reset -1, how this thing exactly works, to finally put an end into whether or not you should be trying all of these stages, right? So we're just gonna use our fractured spiral hell tree, right? So right now you can see my stamina was at 64, right? So first step, if you enter into battle and you do not click battle, right? You haven't clicked the button battle and you leave immediately, you will not minus stamina. So you see, I'm gonna be 64. You will not minus stamina if you enter and leave immediately, right? Maybe you press the wrong button, maybe you just want to see how your team looks like, you want to stare at some tits or whatever. That will not minus stamina, right? But if you were to enter into battle, so this is going in, setting up your teams. If you click battle, and then you press exit battle, this will -1, right? I don't even need to show this, because I don't want to waste -1 stamina, but this will 100% guarantee -1. And this has been established, right? This has been established. But there was the narrative where if you were to press restart, and then you press exit battle, you will not lose stamina. Because technically here, you haven't entered into battle yet, right? You're in the collector, you're in the team selection screen. You're in the team selection screen and you haven't entered into battle. So the theory was, if you exit right now, you wouldn't minus stamina, which has been disproven. It will cause a minus. Okay, the stamina refreshed, but it will cause a -1. So I'm just gonna do it again. So right now it's 64. You're gonna go in, you press challenge, you press start battle, you press restart, and then you exit. This will be -1 because they already counted that you enter into battle one time. You can see over here, that was -1, right? So once you enter into battle, right, the fight literally starts, and then you press restart, you go back to your character screen, and then you leave, it will still count as you started the fight. So that will be -1. Okay, so this is where the misinformation comes in, right? So this is where the misinformation comes in. So people think that if you were to go into battle and you restart, and then when you leave, it will count as -1. So there's no incentive for players to go in and restart a battle, because if you're gonna just fail, you will always -1. This thing works in a sense where you can restart as many times as you want. So right now, I go into battle. I'm gonna just do this quickly, right? So I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna go in again. And I'm gonna restart. And I'm gonna do it again. So I think this was a potential misinformation where every single time you press restart, you -1, -1, -1, -1, -1. So I'm just gonna restart. This is my third time. So this is my fourth time. So I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna restart. right? Then this is gonna be my 5th time. So I'm gonna go in. I'm restart. Right, so this is my 5th time. Okay, so now I restart. So the misconception, right, the misinformation is right now, people think that you minus 5 stamina. But if you were to exit right here, right, I restarted 5 times. But if you were to leave, you will see it will only count as minus for the initial failed battle. And at every single restart, it doesn't count as -1, -1, -1, -1, -1. So the entire process, you can restart 100 times, 1,000 times, right? The moment you enter into battle, it will take it that you have begun that one battle. So it doesn't matter how many times you restart once you enter stage, as long as you go in, you can restart as many times as you want until you leave the battle. If you leave the battle, that's when it will count as the -1. So this is where I feel that it would actually help a lot, because people have been incentivized to, okay, if I can't clear this stage, like let's just say I cannot clear Nightmare Tree Terminaton, and if every single time I restart I -1, if I fail like 10 times, I'm gonna -10. So I will never attempt this. So this is factually, as I've just proven, it is wrong. You can restart as many times as you want, but the system will just take it as you all count as within that battle itself. So I would say that this tip is gonna be exceptionally important for players that are trying to go for like one-time clears, to especially push forwards this progression. So if you're trying to go for the one-time clears and getting the achievements done, you should be doing this reset option. Getting the, for example, in this case, I want to get this first time clear. I can reset as many times as I want, and the moment I secure a victory, it will count as, you know, victory secured, right? So hopefully this will help people be a little bit more bold, be a little bit more daring to go ahead and experiment different teams and maybe try to get, like, it's technically still 2 advanced anima points, right? It is still like 10, 90, so you could get these resources at an earlier pace, right? At an earlier pace. Now, there is an exception to this. There's an exception to this, which is when you exit battle here, if you have at least, I believe, 20 stamina, right? If you were to exit and you -1, you would not have sufficient stamina, right? Okay, not 20, 19, right? 19. Because if you had 19 stamina, you go in, you -10, right? If you go in with 9 stamina, you -10, that is 9, right? Because you already count as -1. So if you only have 9 stamina left, the system will force you to quit. The system will say, okay, you do not have enough stamina, you have to leave right now. So you cannot do this method if you only have 9 stamina, because the first entry will count as you have used up 10 remaining, and because you have -1 stamina, you can't proceed on to the next retry. So you need at least more than 19 stamina, so you can just keep resetting as many times as you want to get this first time clear for any of your drops, for any of your achievements, for your hibernating reward, etc, etc, right? There is also another rule, which is before you reset, right? Once you enter the battle, you have to make sure you do not see that defeat screen. So let's just say you go into fight right now, and one of your unit dies, it is fine, right? It won't count as -1. You can have one unit, as long as you do not see the defeat, and then system collapse, right? The system collapse screen, it is fine. You can keep resetting over and over again until you eventually get the clear. Hopefully, the bottom line for this entire thing is, first of all, why the fuck is this system in place? Because me personally, I think it makes no fucking sense why it would even -1 stamina in the first place. So, yep, fuck this. It is bad design. Just remove this shit, and then we wouldn't have to talk about it. Secondly, unfortunately, because the reality is this system is in place, I would say players need to sort of adapt and try to play with the system until maybe eventually devs listened and then they remove it entirely. Then this video would be redundant, right? But until that day happens, where they remove this -1 thing, I would say this is a helpful advice, especially if you're thinking, okay, resetting every single time means -1. No, you can reset as many times as you want. The system will count as you entering the battle for all the reset as that one fight, right? So hopefully this video has been informational. It's not gonna be a very, very long video, but I think this is a big importance for people that want to progress and get those first time kills, right? So let me know what you guys think in terms of like Etheria restart. I've been playing this game every single day. I am the what? The rank 1 what? The rank 1 what? And there it is, right? So let me know what you guys think. We have a Discord community and everything. Looking forward to how the progression is gonna be. We are gonna be reaching level 40 very, very soon. Word of the day is gonna be misinformation. Join Discord, join to the join kick. All the best. Use code Pokke, right? Use code Pokke for 10% off, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. W.